Hey, Mickey and I came across this today on our rounds of research. Just suddenly things come up and they sort of grasp you a little bit. But this is in the 1800s, an expedition on a balloon to the Antarctic. So, never heard of that before.
No, it's a strange experiment, isn't it? Yeah, with their gas.
So, the latter part of the video is that they somewhere landed. I know there's an eagle on that thing, but they somewhere landed about 60 hours after they took off. And then what it is they don't ever find them, but then 30 years later they come across this area where it's got things in and a camera. And when they look at the rolls of the film, inside are these pictures. So they landed there and they lived there for a while. There's a picture of them killing a bear. Who knows if any of it's real or it's just their cover story. But you reckon that they still wanted to go on to the North Pole?
Excuse me. I think they did, didn't they?
So basically just carried on, but they were stuck in this place for a while. So, but anyway, we'll come to that. But I've never heard of this before. So basically, I don't even think he went very high through it. It was the way he had to fly the balloon through it all, because obviously wind, storms.
Yeah. And that's why they're saying this. They put ropes on it, wasn't it? Like give it drag, and then put sort of sails like a boat, so you can steer it. And he's being dragged. Sails in a bucket, so it's not.
What, he had ropes below to drag him?
To slow him down, so he can control the steering of the sails. Yeah, on each side.
Whoa, it's like he's got a wild horse. Whoa, balloon. Whoa.
That's what's happened.
Steady, keep it low, keep it. Wow.
And I think they were saying that because of the drag, it was hitting the ground and ice, and it kept getting caught in the cracks of the ice. So it pull them down, sort of thing. So they'd have a lot of trouble. And this is where they think they caught. The ropes have been caught, and the wind's blowing so hard that it's just blowing sideways like a balloon. That you wouldn't get. Any party balloon, they're just flapping around. Of course, they must have gone from hell.
That's if it's real.
And not only that, they said the gas inside, because it was so cold, it made the balloon heavy, sunk to the ground. He died.
We probably could have come back as they hadn't got very far. Anyway, we come across what it is they've got pictures of them taking off. The balloon doesn't look very high. And then if you want to really read the information, because obviously I can only stop for so long, otherwise, just stop these bits and look at them, and then they become so much I haven't even got enough time to finish it, because I'm on Bandicam and I only get 10 minutes on here, but it's 10 minutes we can do a video. But I've never heard of this before. And then there's all this way they've got to fly the balloon, and then they landed somewhere, and then they felt that what it was is they came across a structure, or they wondered whether it was a boat, and then they realised it was a structure, and then what it had been is it had been what they had made and stayed in, and that looked like some scientific thing going on there. Even the building, they could just build a shed. It was some scientifically looking shed, and then they weren't there, so it was like, maybe they'd gone on. Mickey thought, they've gone on.
Yeah. Well, they came across it and found it and made a story out of it.
See, that one is dragging the ropes to
and the hemp ropes, like ship ropes,
below it in the sky, but still flying through.
And then turning it, slightly turning, rather than going straight ahead like a balloon.
Yeah, that one says it's not long after they've taken off, but it's just that's the kind of thing how they wanted to fly. I've never heard of it before, so it's a bit like, we've just got a few pictures. So obviously, if you look it up, you'll find information about it.
Yeah, never heard of it.
No, and then what it is when they came across the building, they came across a camera, and there was all these rolls of film. So they're showing you a sampler of those pictures, which we'll get to a bit more in a minute. So obviously that is one of them. So they know that they got somewhere because they'd had some pictures taken. But in the program it says it looks like they're standing there and it's a sunny day and there's nothing much wrong. They kind of made a base camp, but then they made a building. I don't know if it shows you in here, but they showed you on the video. I mean, that's not a very good picture. Looks more like a cartoon, but anyway. That's them, they've killed a bear. So this is what's on the roll of films. There's the camera. Because obviously it's been found so many years after they've perished.
Can't have too much mechanism because they're freeze.
Yeah, there's the rolls of film with the pictures on. They look like gun pellets. And then this is more pictures. Well, I've got the no beginning, no end pictures, haven't they? But anyway. I think that's all the pictures they show on that one. But then I found a much better site. Wait for this, Mickey, because Mickey wasn't looking when I was doing it. This one's much better. Got lots of little articles about it. But what's going to happen is I only have 10 minutes. We've only got 3 minutes to go. So when it finishes, guys, we finish. And it's 10 minutes long. So we'll just go on as long as it'll let us. So it talks about this. There's a bit of more writing here. Hopefully you can read it. Just all the information. It's about midnight or something here, and so it's just the way it is. And I'm not in my bedroom, so it's big. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting that, you know, on this site here you can find quite a bit more info. There's quite a few headlines. We've got to, you know, like, look, the entire expedition was based on a virtually untested theory. So it's interested, the site has got quite a bit, you know, looking at it. Their flight only lasted 65 hours before they went down. So they were quite close then, weren't they? I mean, why didn't they set up guns, you know, with flares or come back if they're only 65 hours in? 3 days. Don't know. Maybe they've got a long way in because of the balloon. Yeah, so we're on 8 minutes now. I've got 1 minute 10 to go. But then I thought, oh, it still goes on. Look, intense Swedish patriotism meant critical flaws were overlooked in the spirit of racing. You know, we like a bit of someone, you know, putting in some questions. There's not enough questions about anything. Everything's just accepted, but how do you know any of it is real? Andre ignored the fact that he had little control of the balloon on previous trips. Interesting. At least they're questioning it. Anyway, we're going to finish in a minute, so it's good night for me.
It's good night for me.
Yeah, that's rounding up. We've done a bit more research, Mickey. We've not heard of this before, and we're putting it out in the public. Yeah. Look, first crew backed out of the expedition due to safety concerns. Go quick, there's a bit more. It just goes on and on and on, and the film's going to run out. You get so many headlines in because you can sort of see them stop the video, but